Hello everybody, welcome back to another, I was about to say Diablo 2, another Advanced Wars by Web commentary of one of my matches. So yeah, I finally found out about this Advanced Wars by Web replay application, so this will be a lot better, a lot more cropped and etc. So although this is kind of small, but the map is nice and zoomed in and I don't have to do any manual cropping. It's just the it's just this thing. Yeah, I had to move to the side because the top and bottom was cropped a little bit, but was the sides. Right, this the sides that's cropped a little bit. Okay, right. Anyway, it's just the left side. Anyway, enough jabbering. So yeah, this is me. This is a global match. Let me I have to. It's a global match between me and Breadmage. It's a tier 3 match, and this one the map is called Veinglor. Okay. Yeah, the annoying thing is I can't see the name of the map unless I exit the thing. But yeah, this doesn't say anything. Okay, but it's just I just happen to remember this Veinglor. Okay, so we're just gonna do the infantry, and it tells you over down here what exactly is happening, and these little arrows and animations. So yeah, we're just gonna try to speed things up a little bit because I don't want to ramble forever. But yeah, this map it's a mixed base map. You can see these two bases are kind of connected with the HQ, very vulnerable, and then there are two maps over here connected. But if you can clear this out, then you can connect all three bases, right? So from what I've seen, other players after when I first started this, I had no clue what I was doing honestly. So I'm just trying to capture the closest cities that are near me, and my opponent is kind of doing the same as well. So I went with Olaf because he's a global damage CO and there's a lot of properties here, so I figured my Winter Fury, the super CO power, is going to do tons of damage. And I'm just, coming across here because I'm worried about my HQ getting captured, so yeah, you'll see I send lots of infantry down here. And I went over here. I don't know if that's the correct play or not. I don't know. I seem to be doing okay in the global matches, but the Z matches I do quite terrible in. See, I mean, early game is kind of similar, right? So here's I see the tank over there, and you'll see I don't know what I'm doing. See, for some reason I'm thinking, yeah, I'm sending all here. I don't know why I didn't consider doing here, but I guess because it would just get annihilated. It did cross my thought. So for some reason, I see them build a tank. Let me bury them and build a tank on the other side. A lot of times, the early game matches, that's what I am doing. They build it on the right side base. I'll build it on the left side base to mirror it. Even though it's symmetric, it's not symmetrical. But yeah, I should have built a tank over here to counter this tank, but instead I built it over there. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna threaten me? I'm gonna threaten you. But yeah, we'll see how well that works. And now he has two tanks here and I have nothing to respond. Here, Kindle has two tanks down in the south. I have nothing. And I'm like, let me move my tank to start threatening over there. And I mirrored the same thing. Let me send another tank there. That was so dumb. I don't know what I was doing. And it seems I'm not very effective at the capture because I'm falling behind. Oh, averaging. Same income for now. Yeah, so I went ahead and built another tank over there. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. That is two tanks. I still didn't build a tank over here. I don't know. Bam. His tank gets a free hit because I have nothing protecting him. And now they're starting a huge wave of infantry coming close to my HQ, close to my cities. And of course he built a tank over here, then that completely shuts me down there, up there, I mean up top. Kindle's tank pretty much blocks me off, so I can't do much over there. And I'm moving here to defend, I guess, and then finally build my own tank. And I'm gonna try to move in over here. Now, even though I was worried about their HQ capturing me, I didn't consider capturing just HQ. My main focus was just defense. So I'm like, oh my god, this tank is useless. I can't do anything over here, so I'm just gonna send this tank slowly across here to help. And I build another tank here, so I have two tanks to contain this one tank. Let me just posture this to defend, I mean to threaten, but it's not gonna do anything because I acted too late. And now you see Breadmage has a income advantage, at least temporarily. Yeah, so my capture game definitely needs work. And now this tank is completely shut down. But at least they drew back over here. But Breadmage Kindle is not backing down, going straight for my cities. And a copter, because they got better income. Now, of course, I'm trying to boost up my income, sending more troops down here. Send my first troop over here and attack that. That was probably a waste, but the main goal is just to protect this so I can capture it. Trying to clear out these infantries. And this tank is just to move here to protect this infantry. So I panicked. I saw their copter. So I'm like, okay, let me build my own copter. Then I realized, oh my goodness, I don't have enough funds over here. I base skipped. What I should have did was, I saw the copter. I should build an anti-air. My thought was, oh, it's not gonna, it's not gonna reach me. It's not gonna reach me. I don't need to build anti-air yet. But that's silly. I should immediately build the anti-air. I was thinking, oh, they got two tanks here, so let me build a second tank. But I had a second tank coming in over there, so I should have definitely built the anti-air here, and then, because this is 9,000, so that would be 8,000, and then I would have 1K left for infantry there. So I accidentally base skipped here. I panicked. I saw the copter. I'm like, let me build my own copter, which is useless. What is this copter going to do against the copter over there? I guess it was to threaten this forcer, or I don't know. And this tank is like, okay, let me fall back. This is useless. See, they already got their comm tower, and I did not get the comm tower. I can't get it because they got all these forces over here. I mean, I only have this one. And this capture is useless now. Failed to capture. And I failed to capture that one too. Very unfortunate. So that was overall just free infantry attacks for the enemy. And now Kindle can go ahead and, you know, take this out. Now they're on the urban terrain. I can't even do anything to it. They they they're gonna get that third comp tower. And now this copter can attack within striking distance. And another copter. Whoops. And now they got an anti-air. See, they did the smart thing. Build an anti-air so my copter is useless down here. So at least I'm able to capture these cities. I was like, let me threaten this area, but let me pull back because this copter is going to sweep. At least now I managed to somewhat catch up with the economy temporarily. It's like, oh, free attack. All right. Let me push in the north, try to put in some pressure there. This one's finally reached the front lines. So that tank over there is kind of useless. It's just spent turns and turns over here doing nothing, just traveling across the map. Like this capture is not going, so I'm just gonna. Here it is yeeted to disrupt their income, but now they're just gonna get a free infantry kill. And I'm like, okay, this copter cannot do anything up top, so I'm just gonna let me clear out this area. And I put a tank over here so I can have the anti over here to take out their copter. Not the best move. I should have. Well, if I move this infantry, they'll just attack it. If I move this infantry, they'll just capture that, right? They'll just capture that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna block off with a tank. The tank can't one-hit KO me. But I forgot he has a copter right there. Oh, whoops! I did not mean to do that. Yeah, so this is definitely spiraling. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm panicking. There are forces all up in my base, and I am not prepared for this. And gave him the free infantry. Bam. And he goes in and annihilates my anti-air. Jesus. And the copter is in a spot I can't even hit it, so the anti-air is injured, damaged, and can't even do anything. And his infantry interrupts my capture, so that was also useless on my part. But at least it put some pull some pressure away from there. And now they'll really be up in my base, and I'm feeling the pressure. I'm falling behind in the income, the unit value, and the unit count. And I'm just solely hoping the global damage super seal power is gonna help me pull through. Because at this point I already did a match as Max versus Olaf, and I was doing good as Max at first, but then I just slowly getting annihilated from the Winter Seal powers. So here's something interesting. Breadmage builds a medium tank over here to defend this area. But here's the thing, all I have is a tank here. I mean, I guess it makes sense they could move this tank over here. I have some tanks over here and copters. But we'll see how much value Breadmage gets out of this medium tank. 1600k right here. And then a transport copter, what is that going to do? I mean, you already covered the entire map. I get. What is that transfer copter gonna do? I'm like, okay, let me move out of this range, of this medium tank range here, and finish off that infantry. And then make sure this anti-air is nowhere near here so I get some free infantry attacks. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna push in the south again. And I'm like, okay, this can't be attacked by the medium tank. Awesome. I'm not even clicking. Attacking the infantry. Gonna revive that, finish that off. Make sure it's out of the medium tank range, of course. Move that back here to uh, heal it. And then plop. In a previous Z match, I did like tanks and mechs in my base that's being surrounded, and of course it gets annihilated, and I lost that base. So I'm like, okay, I have to tech up. Medium tank, the copter will do some damage, and the tank will not do a lot of damage. So I'm feeling pretty confident about having the massive medium tank. So I could have did a neo tank, but then I'd have to base skip, right? Although I honestly probably could have just did a neo tank, 22k, and then 1k here, 1k here, infantry reinforcements. But I decided I don't want to meet neo tank because I don't want to base skip. And I built artillery here for defensive purposes because with the neo tank, the only way I'm going to counter it is with the artillery. That's my thought process. And now I'm going to move my forces over here to try to counter that, and this anti-air will protect against the copter. Moving my infantry here to try to secure this area, and because they have a wave of infantry down here heading my way. And bam, first strike, they do tons of damage. And yeah, that's just now they got urban blight. And Jesus, so this capture is useless now. And I my medium tank goes from 8 to 5. It barely survived that, but still survived. Luckily, it did its job. And I'm feeling real bad. I'm like, oh my goodness, do I resign? I'm literally surrounded. I'm behind in, well, the income is okay, but I'm behind on the unit value, unit count. My base is completely surrounded by infantry and tanks and copters. I'm feeling pretty bad about this, but I'm like, it's a ranked match. I don't want to give up. I have to keep on fighting to the bitter end. And I'm feeling the pressure down here as well. Moving this up is going to finish that off and threaten that tank. And interesting enough, I only have one copter. Now I have two anti-airs. And here's the thing, this mountain is blocking this anti-air. So I have free reign down here to take out these infantries. And I can still take this out for now. And to get another copter. More tanks. And luckily I get a free copter hit over there. Doesn't kill it, but does some decent damage. I can finish off that. I probably should have finished it off with this one, right? No, I can't. I can't capture it, so it doesn't matter. So I'm doing my best here to fend off this area. This infantry is gonna be annihilated for sure, but I have no choice. Move my forces back, try to heal up. And this is just to ward off this medium tank, just in case. I'm just trying my best to mow down their infantry because, the infantry is going to capture my properties if I don't do that. And this one, if I move here, it's still going to die, so just leave it here. That way the medium tank is a little bit, one tile further away from my tank, right? If I move it over here, he can move his tank over here, and that's one tile closer. He moves over here. My idea is just leave it there. Just leave it there. And I build artillery, so this artillery and this artillery will prevent this medium tank from moving forward. That's the plan. So this one is 16k, this is 6k, 6k, 12k versus that 16k. Over here, obviously the medium tank is better because, it won't get annihilated by the copter. But Breadmage is annihilating me in income, everything. And free infantry. And this copter just moves there to block me off. And he's going for the city as well. Now he's positioning this anti-air so it can kill it the next turn if I don't move it. And now he's capturing my city. Just leaves as a medium tank there to threaten this area. So his 16k medium tank has just been sitting here for turns and turns and turns doing nothing. My medium tank, meanwhile, is being pummeled. It's attacking back. It's it's pulling its weight. How do you say it? My 16k medium tank is doing a lot more than the Breadmage's 16k medium tank. And another anti-air. What is Breadmage thinking? I mean, I guess you're afraid the copter will go this way, that way, or something, right? But do you really need three anti-airs to face one copter? I only have one anti-air, and it's half busted versus your two copters. But they do have the income advantage, so maybe it doesn't matter. And I'll just build another tank. So you can come here, attack me, but now I realize this does not cover it at all. Try to capture that again. And now this tank will counterattack against that tank. Finally capture that city. Try my best to clear out this area. Even though this is going to get annihilated next turn, who cares? I don't want them to heal up their tank and threaten me later. Because they have the income advantage, they can afford to heal, to repair the units. And this is moving here to cover this area. It can defend against, it will prevent this from capturing it and defend this tank versus copters. This one just move in to protect this area. Finish that off, and it's nothing can reach it because they have to go all the way over here to deal with that. So I'm like, okay, I can get the city now. And I'm like, okay, you know what? They're not moving that media tank. I can always move it back, but I'm just gonna pull it back here. And I'm like, okay, I need to bust this area. I'm not sure if I'm considering the HQ capture, but at the very least, I want to threaten these anti-air so my copters can come in. I'm still mostly focused on defending this area. A bajillion infantry, there's still copters and tanks coming my way. And I did watch after this one, I did watch other people play. They actually do a mech chain over here. That makes perfect sense. Two steps and they capture it, and you can send your tanks to destroy it. But when you destroy the first one, guess what? There's a second one right there. Hop onto a city and annihilate your tank. In fact, you use the first mech that's damage. You hop off the city and like attack the tank. It will soften it up, and then your second mech will come in and pop off, and you just send a mech chain down here. Of course, I didn't think of that, and luckily my opponent did not think of that. I mean, not that they need it because they have a bajillion infantry here anyway. And now this medium tank is gonna threaten that. So it's yeah, this is useless capture. And trying to send the forces up top. It's either to defend this area or to go up top. They're very aggressive, conquering all my cities. So I did build some anti-airs to ward off their copters, but their copters have been a nuisance. In fact, now it's kind of the same thing, right? They have one copter here and have two copters here. I have 2.5 anti-air. And they build a neo tank because they can afford it. Now let's see, considering how much value they got out of this, let's see how much value they're going to get out of that neo tank. Because to build that neo tank, they had to build infantry everywhere else. And this anti-air getting more value. I'm just mopping up over here, and I'm preparing my blockade over here just to ward off any aggression and to put some pressure on this front so they can't pull everything through here. And that'll interrupt the capture, and I can finish it off. Now I have two tanks here. They can't. I'm thinking, okay, this can block off versus that tank. This is going to be fine. And I have a bunch of tanks to counterattack. Defending this area, try to protect this corridor and try to break through. Get a free infantry kill. And this one's backing off. And yeah, there's a defensive block here. They can't do anything to stop this anyway. And I'm just clearing out these infantries that's gonna try to capture my base. And I start pushing these infantries to the east here to try to threaten them. And I build artillery because that's all I can do against their neo tank. I can't afford my own neo tank. And I could do the medium tank, but then I can't afford anything other places. So I'm trying to spread out my resources. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna build another medium tank just in case this comes down south, because the copter and the artillery can try to take care of it. Moving this medium tank. I mean, medium tank. There's anti-air down here to try to take out these infantries. And I did not see that coming for some reason, and my artillery gets blasted. And an infantry swarm coming in. And my infantry gets annihilated. Okay, let me speed this thing up because my throat is killing me. Yeah, I like this game, but commentary is exhausting because maybe I just have to do like Diablo 2, minimal commentary until some interesting parts. And my anti-air got blasted, unfortunately. So yeah, look at it again. My value is down. My unit count is down. Income is way down. And also keep in mind, I've been facing one comp tower versus three comp towers this whole time. So that's probably why my force is getting annihilated. And this medium tank's just sitting around for ages doing nothing. Sending this copter to threaten 1K infantry, but who cares, right? I got huge blockade of forces over here. So now I'm like, okay, I got my super seal power. I am down 10 units and 50k unit value. Winter Fury. Bam! It drains them 30k. Just like that. See, Urban Blight, it only affects the units on the cities, but my Winter Fury affects everything. The medium tank, the neo tank, all their tanks, copters, anti-airs, and they can't move as fast. That's very vital. Because now I feel less threatened against against the units. What is that? Okay, attack the tank, and bam! Destroy it, and kablamo! Anti-air useless! Moving my tank over here, bam! Mop up some of those infantries. Now this, I don't even care if your infantry comes attack me because it's only gonna do like 1 damage. But I basically annihilate this area. See, Kindle was way too aggressive, pushed in, and now they got folded in half. And blam. I didn't annihilate, but I felt like this was a bigger threat than this one because 2 hit HP tank is gonna do nothing, but this can annihilate my infantry. I need my infantry. And I start capturing, threatening these areas. You can stop it with your copter, but then it'll get annihilated. Fair trade, you can damage my 1K infantry, and I get a free hit and annihilate your 9K copter. So I don't even care. And this is going to go threaten this area. So with just a single swing of that super CO power, the tides have turned. And I'm like, okay, let me threaten this area. Build up my infantry wall there. Now I don't even have to worry about them swing over because they can't move. And I'm like, okay, I don't really have that much funds, so I'm just going to build infantry here and build up forces elsewhere. Oh, right. I think the idea is they're going to use their CO power, so I'm just going to build copter and all infantries, no tanks or anything, because they're just going to give me tons of damage. And I went ahead and merged that, lost the unit count a little bit, but at least it'll be healed up. I can get this ready to try to capture the HQ. I think at this point, I'm like, okay, I won this area. Let me try to capture this HQ maybe, or I don't know. Or at the very least, this can go ahead and try to capture this. Now I'm definitely shifting my focus over here to freeing up this corridor, maybe attack the HQ. And their Neo tank could not move that far because of the, yeah, they couldn't move anything because of the Winter Fury. Snow is amazing. Urban Blight. Okay, so they use the Urban Blight, but it barely does any damage because I have mostly just infantry. And that does get annihilated, but I still have way more forces down here. And now I guess they feel threatened. But why would they attack your medium tank on the city? Why would I do that? Or maybe they're trying to the forces down south. I don't know. And this copter has just been circling around doing nothing. And what the hell was the point of that? This transport copter, like, here's the thing, like, Breadmage has the income advantage, but they're just building random units that are just running around doing nothing. Like, it's the infantry that's doing the bulk of the damage, honestly. So they're still ahead in all accounts, of course, but at this point I felt the tides turning for sure. So I'm like, okay, that anti-air is dead. I'm gonna build more copters, boost up my unit count. This will protect me against the Neo tank. And I'm gonna go ahead and threaten the top area. The, the copter can't retaliate anyway because of my anti-air will just annihilate it. I'm making sure my copters are nowhere near the anti-air. And I can move this closer to threaten this area. Building up my infantry wall over there. And that was probably a mistake, but I think the idea is, yeah, you can use the anti-air to kill my infantry or tank, but I'll just pummel it with my artillery. And they can't get across over here to threaten my artillery. I'm like, okay, this copter is annihilating my infantry, but there's a 9k copter versus 1k infantry. That's fair. Stop my capture. I'm just desperate to, get some cities back. And then it just moves that to close me in. And it does some massive damage for some artillery. So this artillery was supposed to counter that Neo tank, but ended up kind of being useless. I think it just damaged the infantry, that's it. Now he's moving it in, threatening my top front over there. And the copter's getting free hits on my infantry. Building tons of anti-airs to ward off my copters. I finally get my second comm tower. Jesus. Day 15 to get my second comm tower. And that's not even my comm tower, it's the enemy comm tower. Now this is blocked off so they can't threaten this. I am giving them the free anti-air, but it was worth it because I annihilated their artillery. And kind of a waste to use it, but I figured if I just leave it here attack, I have to base skip, and the Neo tank could do some devastating damage. And I think I was noticing, yeah, Urban Blight is coming soon. That Neo tank will definitely annihilate me. But I might build, let's see if we build another medium tank. And then I realized, oh, this tank is going to come here and do free damage, but this medium tank, bam, did some damage against that tank. And there's no tank over here, so I can threaten this anti-air over there, and I can build another copter. Anti-air, infantry, and a tank. Now that might have been a mistake, honestly. I probably should have built another medium tank here. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, the medium tank would have been better to ward off that medium tank. And Jesus, they have copters. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. What happened here? I don't know. That was kind of a mistake for sure. I think I was like, let me put on the pressure down here, bring more copters. But I guess I would figure if he does destroy the tank, my medium tank can just going back in and annihilate them. But yeah, that was kind of a little bit too aggressive here, trying to get more copters. I should have put another medium tank over here, I think so, and skip the copter over there. But I think I was kind of feeling overconfident at this point since I just completely overrun this area. Oh yeah, I think because if I build a medium tank with the Urban Blight, it would just get annihilated by the copter and the Neo tank. That's probably what happened that I was thinking. If I get a medium tank, it'll definitely get annihilated by Urban Blight. Wait, where did that tank come from? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, I don't know. I must have missed that. Went straight through the infantry and bam, free damage. Kablamo. 3 HQ infantry, but that's not going to do much. And yeah, I did sacrifice the anti-air, but it was worth it to kill that copter. And this is taking forever, actually. And that's to block off my escape, I guess. And now we're finally attacking my infantry wall over there. And yeah, now they're putting the pressure down south here. Now it's my turn. Blow up the infantry. And bam, free hit on the anti-air. Annihilate their tank. They cannot attack that, so I'm real free. So you can come in with the tank and blow up my tank, but I'll just blow it back up with the copter. I'm pretty sure I built another tank here to cover that, the anti-air. This one is useless, but let me just threaten this city. All these infantry, I don't intend to capture anything. They're just there to draw away their tanks and copters. Pull that back and replenish the infantry wall over there. And bam! Free hit on the Neo tank. I'm like, I think I calculated like, I think I have enough. Actually, I didn't even think about it. I was like, free hit on the Neo tank for sure. So this 22k Neo tank did, I mean, not nothing. It did kill one of my 7k tanks with the help of a copter, which got annihilated. So 22k and a 9k, that's like 30k to take out my 7k tank. And I took them out with this 16k medium tank and a 8k anti-air. So I made off with value. So my medium tanks are making good value. This medium tanks have just been running around doing nothing. And this 22k Neo tank end up undervalued, under trading. And I'm just coming here, annihilate everything. And I'm like, at this point, I was like, oh, I can get my power. And like, I'm like, this tank is going to get blown up, but I'll get my power. So sure, why not? It's worth it. Bam. Winter Fury. And they didn't even use the Urban Blight. I was worried about the high society, but I have all this infantry here. And with this Winter Fury, they can't even break this infantry wall. At best, they could do kill these two infantry and maybe a third one. Then I can counter with the anti-air, kill the copter. The artillery can damage the medium tank and finish it off with my tank. So yeah, and I'll still have more infantry to block off just in case. So this is still perfectly defended. This one is perfect. Maybe not perfectly defended, but bam. Now there's 4 units over here. You can attack my tank and come in with the anti-air and try to threaten this area, but nothing. This area is secure. This area, okay, this area is starting to fall apart for sure. But this area is also secure. This area is secure. I'm secure on these areas, and yeah, this infantry is gonna threaten this HQ, but they can easily come in and annihilate it. So that probably not the best, but here's another artillery to protect this area and more infantry for the infantry wall. And they resign. Okay, yeah, because with that other Winter Fury, I just completed an island. I was behind on income the whole time. I used two. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. I had 26 deaths and 44 kills. Killed lots of infantry. 3 copters, yeah. I did lots of value damage. See, I did good trades. I did a lot of good trades. They built 27. See, they built more units, but I annihilated all their units. All right, so hopefully you learned something from this match, and yeah, maybe don't be super aggressive in their face, and unless you have like, I don't know. I mean, they're definitely good, doing good at first, and I was panicking, but in the end, so if you're ever faced with like copters and tanks in your base, build a medium tank. All right. If if they're if they have a medium tank or neo tank near your base, I mean at their base but not quite close, you could just ward it off with a medium with the artillery. But definitely when your base is threatened like by copters, build a medium tank because the medium tank will not get killed by the copter and it will survive against the regular tank attacks. And medium tank still holds itself versus the neo tank as long as you're on a base and you have some other units to support. I mean, honestly, this area is kind of sparse. They still have a tank in, medium tank, but the idea is if you come in attack here with your medium tank and tank, you can't even do that first of all because of the Winter Fury slowing everything down, so these units can't attack me. You can go ahead and waste your turns cleaning up these infantries, and I'll build more defenses over here, and I'll swing all my units over here to capture your HQ. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go for HQ capture or trying to capture these bases, but I still had quite a lot of units here. I don't think I could have threatened this base, but yeah, HQ capture is definitely the best. Swing all these forces over here, protect this area, and HQ capture. I think that was the winning way. And these two bases just defend. Send infantry to attack and distract, and defend these two bases while I try to capture the HQ. All right. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.